I have to start off with a smile. Yes, it is lunchtime. I got to get my camera positioning together. And I brought my light and couldn't even use it, y'all. But it's okay. We talking about real estate today. It's Real Estate Tuesday. Glad to be here as always. Um, it's Tuesday, September 19th. September is flying by. Happy birthday to one of my best friends. Rosalind Benson. She is celebrating her birthday in Cancun. I wish I could be there with her. I was supposed to be there with her, but some things changed in my life, so I had to come and be with you all. So, um, what up, though? Be dope daily. We got to get on the phone. 'Cause- but I'm here to talk about real estate today. I did budgeting yesterday on my motivational Monday. So today I talk real estate. It's Real Estate Tuesday. So my name is Toria Howard. I am an educator. Yes, I am. I teach middle school English, ELA as they call it. But I am also a realtor, real estate investor. I do financial literacy and I do business funding. So I want to just talk about, are you qualified today? It's Real Estate Tuesday. Um, I'm always a big proponent of education, and I tend to want to spread as much education as possible because it's information that I've learned for my free time of wanting to learn because I'm a nerd. I've always been a nerd and I love being a nerd. I'm a lifelong learner. Still trying to finish up Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm reading with my students. So, being a lifelong learner is what I do. So we're going to talk real estate today. And are you qualified? Do you want to be qualified? How to get qualified? Right? So let's dive into it. So if you're watching this live, drop a one in the comments. If you are watching the replay, drop a two. And if you're new to my live, drop a three. I thank you for being here. So let's just dive into it. So, are you qualified, right? The thing is about home ownership that is so, scary to people is the whole entire process. But starting out on the process of something that's one of the huge, a huge commitment in your life is is can be overwhelming if you don't have the right people in your corner. So, what are the right people, right? Let's start there. So, let's start with this. When you're thinking about buying a home, your mind you have to have the right mindset, right? So, you have to get things in order and in line in order to know what's the next steps. So, the first thing I would say is you have to know your finances first and foremost, because you don't want to go to a lender prematurely, not ready, not knowing what you need to do or what you need to have, or if you're even ready to take on that large commitment. Because a lot of people are rental mindset, but we're getting you into, I should say, I'm getting used to on me on here, but I'm so used to talking as a team. But I'm going to get you in a mindset of ownership, being an owner, being an investor, because you're investing into your life, your livelihood, and your family legacy, or your legacy. Some people I've talked to people saying they're not living legacy for their children, or they don't want children, so they're going to live their life now. So, however it is, you have to get in that mindset of getting out of the renter mindset to an investor mindset, because you're investing regardless if you're not going to be a real estate investor. It's still investing. It is something that grows over time, that will grow. You can grow money from over time, that can pay you over time. So it's an investment. So you have to have an investment mindset. And if you don't have an investment mindset, it's going to be harder for you to comprehend all the components and the things that goes on in it. So that's the thing. Your mindset has to be set, an investor mindset. So what's an investing? So you're taking money and putting it into a vehicle that moves, is going to make you more money. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there saying like, oh, buying your first home, being a homeowner, buy your first home, and it's overrated and you should rent and then have investment properties. But if that's not you, you don't have to follow that model. If you want to have a home because you want a foundation, if you want to have a place for your children, or just have a place that you can call your own, that you can do any and everything to and want, and make yourself, money, by all means, this is for you. So you have to think of an investor mindset. So what is the best investment? In order for you to know what your best investment is, you have to know your money and your relationship with money. A lot of people are fearful of spending money. They're fearful of what money does, what money can do, or they're afraid of money, not being there for them, or they have to keep, they got this mindset of, I got to keep working and working and chasing this carrot of making money. So you have to know where you are in your relationship with money, first and foremost. I was a spender. I spent everything that I had. So if you know that you're like me, then you know that now is the time. If you're getting ready to buy a home, you need to look at your finances and see where you're spending, because the banks, the lenders are going to look at that. If they see that you are frivolously spending on any and everywhere, that's a red flag for them, because it's going to make it seem like you can't pay your bills. Okay. And that's not even talking about, any negative items that you have on your credit report. We're talking about your spending habits. They look at that. And a lot of people don't understand that, oh, well, as long as I have the money, a lot of lenders right now, especially, are fearful of lending money. So you have to be mindful of your spending. You need to have your budget together. I did talk about that. So go back to my live yesterday. Have your budget together. Know what's coming in and what's going out, first and foremost. Know what you can afford. That's the second thing. So if you're paying $1,500 in rent and that's comfortable for you, and you have disposable income after the fact, and you can take money and invest it, or spend it however you want to spend it after it, and you have money after you've paid your major bills, your utilities, your rent, your car, things that your food, and you have disposable income, and that is something that's comfortable, then you know that $1,500 mortgage is something that you should shoot for. Now, if you know you can afford something else or something more, then by all means. But you start where you are. That's the third thing. A lot of people have, champagne taste with a beer budget. Let me say that again. A lot of people have champagne taste with a beer budget, and there's nothing wrong with having a lower budget right now. And a lot of people don't want to start where they are right now. And that's what's keeping a lot of people from buying real estate in the first place, because they don't want to start where they are. And granted, I'm not telling you to go buy the ugliest house in the hood or whatever the case may be. But if you know right now you can't afford the 5 bedroom, 6 bathroom mansion that is on your vision board, you have to get there. You have to start somewhere. So where are you going to start? Knowing what your budget is and how much you can afford, because you don't want to be house poor. You don't want to be in a house. A lot of people buy a home and then are foreclosed on within 2 years. You don't want to be that person. So you want to be the person that knows exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and what you can afford. That's the first thing you start with getting qualified. You have to know your money. Secondly, or I should say, fourth thing is knowing your credit score and knowing your credit report. A lot of people think because you have a high credit score that you're going to be a homeowner. That's not true. You can have a 700 plus credit score and not get qualified for a loan for a home because you don't have the proper things on your credit report. Because, yes, the credit score starts the conversation, but your credit history, your credit report, those things that's on that report is what gets you in the door. We'll get you to sit down, and they're going to comb through your finances. They're going to see each and everything that you spend, your bank accounts, all of that, all of the above. So you need to be ready to understand that it's going to be a deep dive. They're going to deep dive into your finances, and you're going to have to be okay with that. So you have to know if you have enough revolving accounts on your credit report, if you have enough um, installment accounts on your credit report that are in good standing. Now, your revolving credit is the credit cards, things that that could change over time because of the interest rates or whatever the case may be. So you want to get that in order. Now, standard is to keep your credit cards at 30%. That's what they say. But in order for you to be qualified for a home loan, they want to see that you have that utilization, which is 30% of your credit score, at a 6 to 7% utilization every month. Now you can run up your credit cards all you want to, right? But as long as you pay it off before the reporting date is what counts. So what does that mean? So your reporting date, you have the statement date, your due date, and your reporting date. Your reporting date to the credit bureaus, well, not credit bureaus, the credit reporting agencies, are not on your credit card statement. So you have to ask or you have to guesstimate, because sometimes they don't want to tell you, because the whole thing is the system for you to be able to keep paying that interest. So, you can call your credit card company and ask them, when do they report to the credit reporting agencies, the Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, whichever one. Some of them only report to one, two, or some of them report to all three. It's good to have a credit card to report to all three. Okay, so that's what you're looking for especially when you're shopping for credit cards. So you want to keep those at 6 to 7%. Use your credit cards like a debit card, and use your debit card for those things that you want to go and buy clothes and go out to eat brunch and all those different things. Pay your cell phone bill with your credit card. Those Netflix and your cable and your internet, pay that with your credit card bill. You're eliminating one bill and just putting it on one card, and you're going to pay that anyway. So your reporting date is usually 2 to 3 days, maybe even 4 days after your statement date ends. So say, for instance, if your statement date is September 1st to October 1st, your reporting date to the credit reporting agencies are usually a couple days after that. So you want to make sure that you paid your balance in full, or you want to make sure that it's at that 6 to 7% utilization by that date. So it's good to know that date. Your reporting date is substantial, because it's more crucial than your due date. Yeah, you want to pay it on time, but you need to understand that your current interest, and if you're reporting that balance to your credit card, from your credit cards to the credit reporting agencies, that can drop your credit score, and also it can look like you don't know how to pay down your debt. So you want to look good on paper on all aspects. It's all about looking good on paper. So the installment credit is the credit that are like the car loans, your mortgage, the personal loans, those different things. You have to have a good mix. Some banks want you to have at least four credit lines on your credit report: two revolving, two installment, or three. They don't want you to be heavy in one or the other. So I met with a young lady. She said she has just 6 credit cards. Now, she might be able to find a bank that will finance her, but most likely that mix of credit, which is 15% of your credit, score, well, it's 10% of your credit score, is it's not on there. So that looks like you're lopsided, and you can't get qualified for anything else besides credit cards. That doesn't look good. You have to look good on paper. So you have to get those, personal loans. The thing is about personal loans are one of the best things to increase your credit, because it doesn't go against your credit card utilization. So when it doesn't go against your credit card utilization, you can be able to boost your credit score and also maintain your credit cards at the same time. Now, usually they want to see 6 credit lines on your credit report when you're talking about a home mortgage. So you have to understand that your credit score, yes, is substantial, but that what's on your credit report, those credit lines are even more important. I've talked to lenders all the time. I've known people that had a 730 and did not get a home loan. It happens that way. So you need to understand that they are looking for that mix of credit installment, which are like personal loans, furniture bill, your mortgage, your car loans, those of that nature. And you're also your revolving, which is your credit card. So you have to have that good mix. It has to be on there. Like I said, find out whatever bank you want to go to get your home loan. Find out, they can tell you. Talk to a lender. How many credit lines do you have to have, and what's the mix? They'll let you know. Like I said, standard is 4, but a lot of times it's 6. So you need to make sure that you have that mix, and that you're balanced, and that you're paying those things on time, because those on time payments do make a difference. And if your payments are not on time, they see those late payments, you won't get qualified either. You can have a 700 credit score. They see late payments, it's a wrap for you. It's no home loan. So you need to make sure that you're paying them on time, before time, and doing the things that you need to do in order to do that. So that's the first part of it, is your finances to get qualified. Your mindset first. You got to be in a mindset of an investor. Secondly, you have to get your finances in order by knowing what's coming in and what's going out, knowing what's on your credit report, your credit score, and understanding how your credit report works. And if you definitely need help with that, you can reach out to me. Send me a DM, PM, or put it on this, put a comment in there to let me know that you need some help, and I can definitely coach you through that. So next, once you find out all of that, now you have to figure out what bank you want to go with. Usually, credit unions are the best, or in town lenders. And the reason why is because they have more knowledge about what's going on in that city, that county, that state. And also they give you a little bit more leeway, and you have a little bit more leverage. Credit unions are definitely, are good, banks to use for home loans. You just have to understand, some credit unions, I had to learn this, don't have in-house um, underwriters. Underwriters are the ones that you have um, a loan officer who gets your paperwork together to get it processed to go to the underwriter. They are the ones that push that paperwork in order for you to get qualified. So that can hold up your home loan. So it's good to go with good in-house, in county, in-state banks, first and foremost, because they have a lot of incentives, and they have of the programs that you need for that state, that city, that county. All the counties, all the cities, all the states have received money for people to purchase homes. But because people don't have their finances in order, that money is sitting on the table still. So you have to, go into the different banks and ask them what their qualifications are to get yourself ready. Is the another step that you can take. You need to know what their qualifications are and make sure that the research that you've done on your own is also matches what they're looking for. So once you figure out what bank you want to use, start a relationship with that bank. It's always good to have a home loan at the bank that you have your accounts, but you can have multiple accounts in different places. It doesn't matter. So, but you want to have that home loan, with a bank that you have a relationship with. Get in contact with the lenders, talk to them, go have a conversation with them, see what their favorite thing is, because they are the ones that will make and break your home loan. So you have to establish a relationship, see if that's the person that you want to work with, because this is the person that you're going to have to work with for 30 to 45 days. Okay, and they can make or break your home loan. So getting to know them, get into their vibe, get into a sense of if that's the person that you want to work with, is crucial, because you have to make sure that they are doing the right and proper things for you and what's best for you and not for their bank. So, some questions that you can ask the lender is, what are your qualification standards? What does my credit report and my score need to be? What are programs that you have for first-time home buyers or home buyers alike? Because there's programs out there for people that are already homeowners, but you haven't bought a house in a couple or few years. You still can get money from these banks as well. So it's not just new home buyers that can get money, it's existing home buyers as well. So you just have to get with the right bank. Ask them what their programs are. How long does it take to get processed? Do they have in-house underwriters? How when do my paperwork go to the underwriter? I forgot to share this with my mentor. Excuse me, y'all. Guys, she got to make sure, I got to let her make sure that I'm on here because you're doing this challenge. But you have to know, who you're dealing with. How long does it take for them to answer you? Because it's lenders out there that take 2 weeks to answer you, and you could be in the process of closing on your home and you haven't heard from them, and they haven't even processed your paperwork. That can hold you up. And sometimes sellers don't want to wait, and you can lose your home. So you have to be on top of all of the things that you need to know for that lender. Once you figure out the lender, you get qualified. Okay. Of course, sometimes the lender is going to have a list of things that you're going to have to do. Do not fret. Do not panic. Do not get upset because they have to protect their investment in you. So they might see some things that you might have to do. You might have to pay off some debt. You might have to add something. You might have to wait a little bit. I had a client who thought she was going to never be a homeowner in her life, and she ended up getting qualified because she was able to follow the steps that I put forth for her to get her credit together. And then she had to wait. She was ready in 6 months. I had started working with her 6 months prior. She was ready in 6 months, but because she didn't have money saved, she had to wait. She had to wait 4 more months to save the money that she needed. So that's the thing. You have to understand that it's a process. So you have to know exactly what you need. That's why having a relationship with that lender is substantial. So asking them those questions, making sure that they are there for you and not just for their bank. You can get a feel and vibe for people. You do it every single day. This is somebody that they want to protect their investment, but if that you see that they're not putting forth the best effort to get you the best program for you, it's time for you to try someone else. Don't and be knowledgeable about the different mortgage programs. You have FHA, you have USDA, you have Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. Um, those are government programs. Then you have conventional. Conventional is not, the government programs are more strict. So a lot of people don't like using those, but they're good programs and you can get a lot of money right now. Especially the government is giving so much money for these programs, but conventional might work for you. And they have money for conventional buyers as well. But know what works for you. If you're in a more rural area, then a USDA loan will be great for you. Rural is considered 20,000, depending on your area, 30, I think it's 20 to 30,000 population or less. So those are the smaller suburbs in your city, in your major cities. Okay, so 20 to 30,000 population or less, you can use a USDA loan and don't have to come out of pocket for anything. But they still want you to see. They want to see that you know how to save. FHA, is standard. You have forgot about VA loans. Those of you that have been in the military, use your VA loans. Use that. You all have one of the best loan products because you can have a lower credit limit. I mean, credit score, minimum and everything else. And a lot of times they don't have to show anything, no savings, no anything. So if you're in the military, you definitely need to tap in with your military benefits. And like I said, you have conventional loans, you have jumbo loans. Jumbo loans, depending on where you are, like in Memphis, jumbo loans start at like 500,000 depending, or 600,000, but depending on your market. Hi, Alita. Depending on your market, um, it could be more. Okay. So for instance, like, the New Yorks and the Californias, of course, like jumbo loans are way up there. But the smaller markets, Detroit is probably around 5 to 600,000 is jumbo loan, 600,000 probably. But it's a lot of affluent neighborhoods in the Detroit area. So it just all depends. But I'm not gonna get into all of that as I'm not a lender. But I'm just telling you there's different products, but be familiar with the products that work for you. Okay. So FHA have it right now that you can get qualified with a 580. Now your interest rate gonna be high, but once you get your credit together, which I can help you do that, um, you can refinance later and get a lower interest rate. And don't be afraid because the interest rates are 7%. Especially if you're a renter, because you're investing 100% of making somebody else rich instead of investing in 7% of building a legacy for you. You do the math. I'm just saying. So we cannot fret about the interest rates. That's what they want. Fear mongering is what they want us to do because they don't want us to buy real estate. Think about all these corporations, all these investors, all these people are buying real estate underneath our nose, but they telling us not to do it because the interest rates are too high. The interest rates are not going to go down, people. They're not going to go to the zeros and the twos and the 3% as it was before. So if you're waiting for that, you're just going to be continue to pour into somebody else's wealth. I'm just here. I read real estate all the time. I eat, breathe real estate besides, teaching the children. But I eat, breathe, sleep real estate. I see it. The Fed and all of them that control this, they're not going to bring these interest rates down to no 3% anymore. It's not possible. They're not going to do it. So if you're waiting for that, you're going to be waiting. And then that is the 7% is just a standard. You have banks that have 5 and 6%. You just have to go to the right bank and ask the right questions. So, with your mindset, your finances, finding a lender, or the bank or the lender that works for you, knowing the different loan products, that's 4. Okay. And then find a real estate agent like myself that's qualified to help you through this process, because it is a process. But you have to understand that, you have to ask the questions. Once again, interview your real estate agent. How accessible are they? How many homes have they closed on? Um, you know, what are the knowledge of these certain neighborhoods? What do how long do it take them to process and do their paperwork? Build a relationship with your realtor as well, because that's another crucial component of this process. You, the mortgage lender, and the realtor. Okay, all 3 of those people, including you, have to be in it. Okay, thank you, Alita. Appreciate you. So I'm going past my time because I want to try to keep this at 25 minutes. Like I said, I'm a realtor. I do help people repair their credit. I do help people with business funding. So if you need any of those services, definitely tap in, because I would love to coach you through whatever process it is, business processes, real estate processes, mindset processes, because I had to do a lot of digging and digging deep into my own personal self development in order for me to get to where I am. I didn't start like this. Like I said, I was a spender. I spent everything that I had. I did not budget, and all of these things. I bought a home. I was a homeowner for 10 years. Did something. That's another story for a different day. Did something crazy because I wasn't knowledgeable about what I had. So, I have the experience personally and professionally to get you where you need to be. So definitely tap in. I'm going to eat some lunch now before I have to deal with these wonderful children once again. So I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow. It's Wealth Wednesday tomorrow, you know. Women Crush Wednesday, however you want to say it. But I'll be back tomorrow around the same time, between 12:15, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So share this video if you felt like this information was awesome, because I would love, to help and share this information as much as possible. And I'll come back next week with some more tips on how to get. Are you qualified? Do you want to get qualified? Do you want to know how to get qualified? I can show you how to do that. So everybody have a blessed day, and I'll see you later. Share the video, please. I should have said it beforehand. I'm about to end it now, but it is what it is. You can still share it after it shows up in the feed again. So love you all. Bye.